Hey, everybody, and we are live with another episode. I think it's episode 203 of Hot Jobs. Thanks for joining, Tara. Excited to share these jobs and insight with our community.
Yeah, special Friday edition. So heading into the weekend with the hottest jobs.
And it's a special Friday edition because I was away all week at Soft Week, which was an amazing experience we will get into. But before we get into Soft Week, I would like to say thanks to our partners at Calm Seas Psychotherapy. Sharon Prager and her team have created a practice that is aligned directly with military veterans, law enforcement, first responders. They're focused on giving us the support we need. And they're tied in with all of the TRICARE, VA, all the other networks out there. So if you are interested in getting some help, and they have a lot of remote options and military spouses and veterans that understand our community, if you're interested in getting help, check out Calm Seas Psychotherapy, and I'd consider talking with Sharon if you can. Now, back to Soft Week, which was an incredible experience, and our CEO, Nick Gizmani, would gladly say, I told you so. I'm sure, right?
Definitely.
But such a fantastic community down there in Tampa Bay. Something that I felt rivaled AUSA with a little bit more of the fun factor, or less suit and tie, that you get in the DC area AUSA event, which I'll be at as well in October. But one of the things is I had a speaking engagement there, and I'd love your thoughts on this as well, Tara. I said that, aside from talking about the LinkedIn and marketing yourself as a job seeker, and really just like the things that you find valuable when I ask you why someone should hire SOF, all the soft skills, all the intangibles, all the work ethic, the fitness, the run towards danger, all that stuff never shows up in the must-haves on a job description, because the must-haves are going to be your hard skills, your experience, things like that. But the one thing I talked about that I felt was very important was I wanted to let everybody know, people go to networking events, conventions, job fairs, I think wired the wrong way, thinking that they're going to close a deal at the event. And I've got to tell people that you're not signing a teaming agreement at an event. You're not signing a statement of work, or any kind of an offer. You're not signing a job offer to accept a job at these events. It's not happening. The key is going to be follow up. And that is where most people stink, right? And so my thing is whenever you go to a major event and you meet someone, you should follow up with a short message within 24 hours. My thoughts are, if you connect with everybody on LinkedIn, right, at the event, and then the night of or the morning after, you go back into my network, all your connections are chronologically ordered. You go right down the list and say, it was great meeting you at Soft Week. Done. But what you have to understand is that is just a placeholder, because what all these people attending the events are doing is they're networking, and they're getting hundreds of business cards, hundreds of emails, hundreds of messages, right? And then their regular work is still plugging away, filling up their inbox. And so the next key is to calendarize the next week, like midweek, not Monday, because that's when they'll be digging themselves out. Midweek, sending another follow-up with the actual ask. And I think that is how you really start to build the inroads to get to those offers, to get to those relationships. And I'll tell you, I was sending some with people I know that I met down there, that I have their ability to text them. And I just texted them and said, hey, I'll shoot you a note next week. Let's set up some time to talk, because I know they're overwhelmed right now. And so, that's the follow-up from a networking piece. I think you had some other, like from a recruiter candidate standpoint, that you want to talk about, right, Tara?
Yes, and I will agree that most people are not great with the follow-up. There are some great examples that I can give. So we were chatting offline that communication and follow-up is really essential when you make that initial contact. So first, if you have something set up with a recruiter or a hiring manager or a point of contact for a position that you've scheduled, and suddenly something comes up, which we all know life happens, you need to communicate that you are now not available at that time, or the circumstances of your availability have changed. hey, I'm only going to be able to take a phone call. I'm not going to have great internet service, and I may not be able to be on camera. Or, hey, I'm not going to have access to your Teams link. Can you provide me with another way to connect? I see this really frequently, that someone books a phone call or a Teams meeting and they don't call and they don't email and they don't show. And even when I follow up saying, hey, it looks like we missed each other, why don't we figure out a time that works better? They don't reply to that either.
Yeah.
So, communicating with the recruiter or hiring manager, your point of contact, whoever that might be, is also how you build that initial relationship and their initial impression of you. If you come 24 hours out and say, so sorry, things have changed, I'm now not able to make our meeting, can we please reschedule? Or like I said, hey, I'm going to be in a place that's really loud. Is there a way that I could take this call versus a Teams meeting? Can we just do a regular phone call? I don't want to be distracted, by things in my environment. So it's really important to have that conversation with, again, your point of contact, your recruiter, your hiring manager, because that's part of your initial expectation or your impression.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not, I don't know. Do you think that's a positive when they reach out and let you know that there's going to be a situation at,
Yes.
Like, I think that's a positive. If you
Definitely
24 hours out, you're like, hey, my environment's not going to be ideal. Do you still want to move forward, or could we, or should we, this is what's going on? To me, I think that's fantastic. It shows EQ. It shows planning ahead. It shows communication ability. So yeah, that's awesome.
I think it shows that they're prepared and that they want to make a good impression of like, hey, I would love to be on camera, but it's not going to work out today. I still want to move forward. I still think we can have a meaningful conversation, over the phone.
Yep, absolutely. And Jane, congratulations. You did the first step. Understand that it's highly likely that many of them will not be responding to those that you followed up with the first one, because they're going to come back with all those resumes. They're going to have to upload them into the system. They're going to go through their emails and everything else that's happening. So please make sure that you follow up with all of them. You should have a roster of all your like a spreadsheet of all your follow-ups mid next week. I think that would be wonderful.
I think the other thing is if you can put in that email or text message something specific, because at a conference you meet so many people, but if you can say, hey, I met you at the exhibit hall and we bonded over our love of the Eagles, or I am also a graduate of whatever school, that helps make that connection. I see the jersey. So I think, if you can be specific or something you remember about the person, that really helps them make that extra connection. And,
I know we're on this topic a lot, but I did, we had a quick turn, the one I'm talking about. We had a quick turn opportunity with a major organization, a Fortune 200 company. And we had to get like 12 people hired in like a week, 2 weeks maybe. And so I jumped in and helped with the screening. And I think I did like 25 or 30 phone screens. And I think I got 2 thank you notes. Yeah. 2 people followed up back to me and said, hey, thank you. And it's, what's crazy is those were 2 ones that I thought were a lock for the job, and they got it. So like that, you stand out. I was like, really? Only 2 out of like 25 or 30 people sent me a follow-up thank you note. And they stand out because so few people do it. So like, never hesitate to go above and beyond and be memorable. So I think we got to get in. So we've got some questions here. Let's see what they got here. Looking forward to hear some great information prepared for the transition process and the job search. So he's also putting that he would love to connect with people. You'll see it in the comments if you want to connect with him. But I will say that, Jody, you don't have to add your link. They can just click on your picture and connect with you that way. It'll go right to your profile. So
and Jody just joined our jobs pool, I believe. I recognize the name.
Way to be memorable, right?
Good work.
So I've got a few other topics, but I figure it's called Hot Jobs for a reason.
Sure.
So before we lose everybody, I would love to move over. Do you have some information? And before you get into it, Tara, if you are joining and you are looking for a specific role, and it may not even be with us, please feel free to put the type of role you're looking for and the location. Understand that remote is not a job. If it's going to be remote, it should be remote something. Or it should be the type of job and that you're looking for a remote. put it in the comments. We have a lot of employers, a lot of recruiters dial in or check our threads, and they may be able to connect you with something. So please go ahead and do that. If we don't have it, we're not going to be offended if somebody else snatches you up, because at the end of the day, that means a member of our community got a great job. So over to you, Tara.
All right, so I'm going to start with some SkillBridge opportunities. So these 2 opportunities that I'm starting with are SkillBridge specific. So you do need to be approaching your last 180 days of service to qualify for these roles. And they're with 2 of our favorite partners. The first one is with Datadog. So this opportunity is for a technical support engineer. This SkillBridge opportunity is remote. However, if converted to a full-time employee, they do require a hybrid schedule in a couple of really great cities, including Denver, Boston, New York, and San Francisco. So just keep that in mind. The technical support engineer is a customer-facing role. You do need to have some background in coding and programming, so Python, Bash, Shell, being able to debug lines of code as a foundation, and a little bit of Linux experience as well. The rest you'll be able to learn at Datadog, who are excellent partners. They are so excited to be a part of SkillBridge. I meet with them twice a month, and they're always saying, give us more. We love the candidates that you send us. They end up being really valuable employees to our company. And they are expanding worldwide. So if you've never heard of Datadog, here's your introduction. And SkillBridge is a great way to get into this really fast growing company.
And I think they're like a $3 billion a year company.
Huge.
People don't realize
Huge.
You know,
yeah.
You don't recognize the name. You should recommend those numbers. That's a capital B, not a little b. They're like 3 billion plus a year in revenue. So, you know, it's a great, and for the data world, it's a great resume. It's a great name to put on your resume. I do have, before you go on, I just want to say, Gaius, this doesn't help us at all.
We don't know what that means. Remote one.
I don't want to go into an office. That's all it says. So please understand that remote is not a job. Remote is a work arrangement with an employer. You've got to tell people what you want to do and find a job that can be remote. So we've got a lot of other ones here. We've got Amit looking for physical security. We do, if you're going overseas, Amit, we've got a bunch of security roles with our partners at Acuity International to be interested in looking into. We've got somebody that's looking for Agile and Scrum, but they probably have the privacy settings a little too tight. We got an RAF with separation in 3 weeks, Chris, but you didn't tell us what you were looking for. So ideally, you'll add that in the comments for people as well, or join our talent pool. Mm-hmm. We've got, I'm not going to butcher your name. So I'm just going to say Shah, because you were on the other day. I love this. DC area, south of DC area, cybersecurity engineer. Awesome. And then we've got no SkillBridge,
okay.
But full-time works. You got the right skill set. So let's get on to the next role.
Especially if you have a security clearance.
Yeah.
Much needed. Lots of cybersecurity roles.
So I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but Shah. If you have a security clearance you're interested, you should connect with Tara.
Yeah.
So, all right. And we've got event security management. That's another one. Yeah. So cool. All right. So Tara, over to you. You got another role?
Yeah, second SkillBridge. So again, SkillBridge only, not a full-time role just yet. So SkillBridge with our amazing partners at American Microgrid Solutions. So if you have a passion for renewable energy, this role is for you. We are looking for someone who is mechanically inclined, who maybe has some background, ideally in some type of electrical, engineering type role. Nuclear would be great. Any nuclear experience, power electronics, engineering, any technical certification, even an undergraduate degree would be really preferred. These people would be a project analyst. And we are looking for this intern to start over the summer. June or July is the preferred timeline. American Microgrids serves big microgrid hubs, including hospitals and residential zones. So they're looking for someone who is really passionate about renewable energy, about climate control, about climate change, and really cool team, remote opportunity as well. And it is a remote company. And of course, if you would like to see all of the qualifications, you should go to our website. And if you think that you apply, no need to email me. Submit your application and then email me. So you can submit your application. People always say, how do I know that, what should I do once I see something I like? Apply. I look at every application that comes through, and then we'll contact you if we feel like you would be a good fit.
I love it. I love it. I've got a couple to share as well.
Sure.
With DLA Finance. DLA Finance, Defense Logistics Agency. Now, let me just talk about this real quick. So I'm going to share the roles and locations, and they are open to DoD SkillBridge or Career Skills Program internships at the moment, meaning anytime right now or in the near future. But we are also accepting resumes for the same full-time roles in the 5 different categories. The thing about the full-time applications is if you send them to us, we line them up. We will reject ones that are not qualified. We do get some of those, but all the rest of them, we have them lined up and ready. As soon as they get hiring authorities, we've got them racked and stacked and ready to send back over there and start scheduling interviews. They're using rapid hiring authority, direct hiring authority, any kind of a hiring authority they get to bring in more veterans to their team. And so the roles that are open to both SkillBridge now, internships, and direct hire in the near future when the authorities return are accountant systems. Both require 24 hours credit hours of a bachelor's degree and at least 24 hours of accounting business law credits. Business analyst, financial liaison, and the locations are Battle Creek, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. You've got Richmond, Virginia, and then you've got Fort Belvoir, just DC area, Virginia, plus a very, very small office only for people with accounts receivable experience in San Antonio, Texas. And so if you are interested in a career in finance, you want to learn a little bit more about defense finance, which is a burgeoning market, then go ahead and check out HireMilitary.us. You'll see the DLA finance roles. Read the role, learn a little bit more what it is. Focus your resume on talking about the money, the dollar signs, like the financial experience you've had in your career. I know most commanders have it, but you can't expect us to try to brainstorm what you would have. If you are a commander and you manage large budgets, please specify that. For it. Make it easy. Slap you in the face that, yeah, they're qualified. So I would tell you to think about that for DLA finance. And then I think you have a couple, at least 1 or 2 direct hire roles, right?
I do, yes. So direct hire, so all welcome to apply, would be a senior complex claims analyst with our friends at AIG, so the underwriting company. Really great opportunity here if you have legal experience. And while that might not seem intuitive, they're looking for someone with at least 3 years of experience in the legal department handling complex claims. So these could be environmental claims, they could be tort claims, but they are looking for someone with some type of legal background. So that could be a law degree or paralegal experience. These roles are in some also great cities: Chicago, Philadelphia, Jersey City, just to name, and Atlanta, to name just a few. So if you think that this could be a role for you, the compensation starts in the 90s, mid-90s. Again, you do need to have that legal experience, at least 3 years. Lots of room to grow in this company. They have all levels, so certainly could start, as claims 1 and move all the way up to senior and director. So lots of levels of room for growth at this company. Great compensation, great benefit package. Again, that is listed on our website if you think this could be great for you.
Awesome. I've got a bunch of people dialing in. I do want to put a couple things. So I have security clearance. That's for Anna Tompkins. Chris Jackson. I do have a security clearance. That tells us nothing. I want people to understand that there are multiple levels of security clearance, from public trust all the way up to TS, and even just TS, whether you have a CI poly or a full scope poly. And so I just want people to be very clear that, if we have to come back to you and ask what level of security clearance, you may get missed by someone else that said they have a top secret security clearance or a secret clearance or a CI poly or whatever it is, right? Public trust clearance. So make sure that you list the level. And then I just want to share a little bit of a good news story. So Frank came in and said he's trying to help a green card holder from Afghanistan to find an interpreter role, right? And then our buddy Shah, who I butchered his name yesterday. I'm not going to say it again. Gave them some companies where they used to work.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So thanks for leaning forward and trying to assist. And then we've got Gabriel looking for learning development in finance. And then we've got Frank saying thank you. So did you have any other roles, Tara, or do you want me to move on to the final?
That's it for me. Go ahead. You take the floor.
Okay. So final topics. I just want to do a quick wrap on a couple of things. So one, I was reviewing resumes for a supervisory management and analyst for ICAM and SOD, which is identity, credentialing, access management, and separation of duties. I had to look them up to understand. It's for tech, and it's how you make sure who has access to data, who doesn't, is the way I understand it.
Sure.
And the process is to make sure that only the right people have access to data and inputting data so that you can trust the data. I get that from my time at EY on
internal control.
Yeah. So great resumes. I couldn't find ICAM on any of them. Like if it's in the job title, like if ICAM/SOD is in the job title, I got two things for you. One, if you don't know what it means, you're not qualified. I don't care if you have a PhD. I don't care. Like you're not qualified. If it's in the title and you don't know what it means, boom. Number two, if it's in the title, it's gotta be on your resume somewhere. Please. Yeah. Even if you just make the title, that or if it's in the title, it should be like the title of your resume. It could be in your, professional summary. It should be a key task, a key skill. Please take a few minutes to tailor it to the specific role. Some great resumes, but a lot of them I was like, meh. Like they've got some tech background. They never mention this specific task. So you've got to be smart on that. The next thing is I wanted to talk, there's been a little bit of I've seen this a lot going around. I'll probably see a bunch of it. Oh, we get a lot of stuff, people coming in. We'll probably see a bunch of it on this thread and on a lot of my posts where there's a lot of fake bots posing as like computers saying, hey, I see that you're open to work. You should email Miss Linda at like earthlink.net or whatever, like some crazy email, Google, whatever. And there are scams. So let's talk about a couple things. One, you will never get a text or email from me asking you to buy me gift cards.
Right.
All right. I don't care who you are. I will never text or email or even call and say, buy me gift cards. It just doesn't make sense. So let's apply the common sense rule. First of all, if it seems sketchy, it probably is. Number two, do some research before sending your personal information to recruiters. I know it's hard to recruit, to be a candidate, to be job seeking and get that, someone reaching out to you first, but you've got to verify they're a real human being. My easy ways, and please, if you have other ways that you want to share with everybody, my easy ways, I got to get rid of this thing down here, is I will always verify that the email address, right?
Yes.
It's the same as the website address, right? So like if I say you get an email from me, it would be from TenovaLLC.com.
Right.
And if you go check out my company, it's TenovaLLC.com, right? Same thing. Like if somebody says if somebody says they're emailing you from Google, right? And it comes from a Gmail address, they are not emailing you from Google. It would be from google.com or Hotmail, or like if they're emailing you from Home Depot, it would be like Mike, whatever, at homedepot.com. So that's my quick way of doing it. I also take a look at their profiles. If they're recruiters, they got to have a decent LinkedIn profile, a little bit of effort into it. And then worst case scenario, if you really want to verify it, go look up the website of the company, find their contact information, and call or email someone at the company directly and just say, is this person a recruiter for you? I mean, just before you fill out any job applications, and none of them should be running credit checks, like you don't need to give them your credit card number, none of that.
Never.
Let's not do any of this. You're not getting banking information, like you got to be smart about this. Do your job, right? Like verify everything before doing it. I know it's hard. I know they're getting sneakier, but please make sure you do that. And did you have any thoughts on this, Tara?
So I think what you said is correct, is to, if the email looks suspicious, look them up on LinkedIn. You can always shoot them a message on LinkedIn to verify that they've sent you an email. Look up their company website, make sure they have a website, that they are listed as an employee. I think those are all really good tips. I also think that if the email seems suspicious, or they're asking for information that seems like it's too much, or if it seems weird, it probably is weird. I think the other thing that we've learned, Mike, is that, especially for recruiters, they could be working for multiple companies. And if they're going to be introducing you to someone, ask for a warm handoff. So they can't say, someone will be reaching out.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, someone will be reaching out and a random person emails you. Make sure that you are connected to the right person via the person you've already talked to. So if I was trying to connect you with Mike, then you should say, Tara, can you please introduce me to Mike via email? And I am the connecting factor, so that you're not just getting a random email from a random Mike that's not Mike Quinn. So ask for a warm handoff if you are unsure, if you're going to be contacted by the right person.
Yep. And I think Justin has a great point. They're getting, sneakier and sneakier. If our website is TenovaLLC.com, the email won't be us-TenovaLLC.com.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. It won't be michael.quinn@us-TenovaLLC.com. Right. So that's a great point. They get sneaky about that. And then we've got, people that want them to text on WhatsApp or send them an email that has nothing to do with the name or company. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know any recruiters that are going to say message me on WhatsApp. So, I agree. Go right to their company website, check the roles, make sure it's legit, right? You have to do your due diligence. And then, I think the only other thing is I just wanted to, mention our friends at CNC Boiler Company.
Yeah.
So I posted a cool video today. We shared they were servicing one of these massive boilers. It was one of those time sped up things.
Mm-hmm. Time lapse.
I love those videos. And I just watch, I have zero technical ability whatsoever. So I cannot do it. But, watching him service that piece of equipment, moving stuff off and putting stuff on and all that stuff, and how it looked at the end, I was entranced by it. And so what I'll say is, if you're one of those people that enjoys putting things together, fixing things, using your hands, getting out and meeting people, and you're in the North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia areas, they have great SkillBridge opportunities where they will train you to be a service technician with a starting salary in the mid-60s, but a quick path up to six figures once you start to get running and know what you're doing. These are great jobs. And if you're looking for a job, they will take direct hire as well. So you can just go ahead and apply at HireMilitary.us. But CNC Boiler Company, they are family owned. They've been around for decades. They've got a great reputation. Everyone on their team's been fantastic. And so, getting into a right opportunity to go ahead and do that really makes a difference. And so I encourage you to check it out. Check out the video on HireMilitary's company page right on LinkedIn. It'll also be on it's scheduled today also to go live on the HireMilitary Facebook and Instagram pages with music added. So nice. So I'm excited about these opportunities. We have more coming. So keep a close eye on what's going on here. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. Thank you, Tara. With the special Friday episode.
Right.
And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Bye.
See y'all.